This is a video you've been waiting for, how to design your website using Elementor Page Builder, one of the best page builders in the world for WordPress websites. Hi, my name is CM Manjunath. In this video, you're going to learn how to design your website. We're going to do it for the home page of our website, which is for a real business. You already know that, a gym here in Bangalore. Using this knowledge, you can develop any website, regardless of which niche. Using WordPress and Elementor Page Builder, you can build a beautiful website. So without further ado, let's dive in. What we are about to learn is to use the Elementor plugin. If you notice on this page, there's a link up here. It says Edit with Elementor. Now this Edit with Elementor will be available only if you installed that plugin. In our case, because I used Astra as the theme, if you remember, and I also use the starter templates for Astra. When I was doing that, it prompted me to use a page builder, and one of the options was Elementor, and I used that, right? Now, in some cases, in your case, it's possible that you didn't pick Astra theme. You did not use a starter template. In such cases, the Elementor plugin wouldn't be prompted, or you wouldn't have installed it in the first place. Don't you worry about that. Even if that is the case, all you need to do is go into the plugins section, the navigation menu on the dashboard, and in here you can click on add new. So this is a page builder plugin which is super good, and you would probably see that right up here, first one. Since I've already installed and activated it, it says active. In your case, it'll ask you to first install and then activate. And once you do that, guess what? This option will be available for you. The usage of Elementor is available for you. Also, sometimes you'll notice as you hover over on the pages section, right now I'm on the pages section, if you hover over a page, you'll notice that there is Edit with Elementor. In some cases, that may not be the case, like in the case of blog. When you don't see that, just open that page up on the dashboard, and there it is. There's a button that says Edit with Elementor. You might want to click on that, and that'll take you to this place. Very simple. All right, let's move on then. So we are down to doing what we wanted to do all the way. That was designing our page. So here we are on the home page, as you can see. Looks beautiful. Now, before I launch into designing the page, I want to give you the basics. When you think about Elementor, here are a few things that you'd want to remember. Number one, there are three building blocks. There are three building blocks on Elementor. One is this right here. When I hover over, you'll notice that there is this blue outline. It has a plus button, it has 6 dots, and then an X. This outline right here, that's called a section. A section is the outermost container. Remember that. Think of it like one big box, and within that box you have the second piece of building block. The second building block is a column. As you hover over, there's this dark square on the left. It says Edit column as I hover over. So that is the second building block. Columns are your second building blocks. Within the columns, you see right here, as I hover over again, you'll notice a blue outline again, and this time it's for individual widgets. These are called your widgets or elements. Widgets or elements. Now, once you understand this, it becomes easy for you to build using Elementor Page Builder. If you want to edit something, all you need to do is click. The moment you click there, on the left side, you will see the properties of that building block. So in this case, I clicked on section. You see, it's going to show all the different properties of that section. Now, here you can change the background, you can change the color, you can change the width, the height, you name it. There's a bunch of options for you to choose from. I'll go deep into this later. For now, I want you to understand that here on the right side is where you design your page. On the left side are your properties for individual widgets, columns, as well as the sections. Okay, so think of it as the configuring tool on the left side and the design changes on the right side. Think of this as canvas right here. All right. One of the most beautiful things about using the Astra theme, which I recommended for you, is because it comes with these starter templates. And the starter templates are designed by people who've been building websites for a very long time. They understand a good design. So you, as a beginner who's building a website, you don't really have to break your head on how to design the different sections, how to put the layout together, how to put the structure, the skeleton of a web page. You don't need all of that. It's done for you. It's ready made for you. You know what you got to do? Just understand this page builder and replace stuff here. That's it. You already have it. Just replace it and make it your own, which is exactly what you're going to do now. So I hope you're clear. We have the section, columns, and then the widgets. Now these widgets, as you can imagine, can be any different widget that you might see on a website. So when I hover over here, you see there is this little edit icon, like a pencil icon. Click that, and on the left side, you'll notice that it is a heading. This right here is a heading. This right here is a text editor. This right here is a button. You see how simple that is? And you can customize it on the left side. Very, very simple indeed. So now that you're clear about the building blocks, let's move into the menu. If you notice on the left side, you have these 9 dots. Click that and you'll get to the menu of the Elementor functionalities. Right here, these are the elements. This is what I meant by widgets or elements. The elements that you have at your disposal are in a section, and I'll show you individually each one of them in detail, so bear with me. We have the inner section where you could have multiple columns within a column. So let's take a look at this one. This is a second section. In this section there is the column, this dotted dark or gray lines, and within that, if you notice, there is this section. You see, this is an outer section, and this right here is called an inner section, and that's what this is about. You can make complex nested columns to give your website a cool design if you choose to. Inner sections can be handy that way. Headings, we've already seen. These are called the headings. You can give proper large text so that it stands out and tells what your web page is about. Headings are important. Then come images. You can add images like these, beautiful images, just by dragging and dropping. Then of course the text editor. We saw this is a text editor. That's right here. You can also add a video. You know what? Even though there is no video on this page, I'm going to show you how to add a video, and that's going to be so awesome. Stay tuned for that one. Then comes a button. Again, you can drag and drop like so anywhere you like, and there it is, a button right there. And if you want to delete a widget or an Elementor, you see this edit pencil icon, right click, go all the way to the bottom and delete it. Boom, that's it. Okay, so that's button right there. You can also add dividers. You see right here, if you notice under services, you see this beautiful line in yellow. That is a divider. That's for design purposes. So you may add dividers if you wanted to. You can add spaces to add a little extra space between widgets. Google Maps, and that's something I want to show you too. So in here, I'm going to add a Google Maps where we'll show the location of the gym. Okay, it's going to be super simple as well. Icons, if you want to add some tiny images like icons, you could do so. And I'm also going to show you how to use WP forms. It's a lead form, or you could have like a contact form where the users, when they visit your website, they could just fill out the form, and that message, whatever they typed in the form, will reach you on your email inbox. Okay, so these are the basic stuff. And believe me when I say this, there's a lot more to Elementor, but there's no point making it complicated when you could stick to the basics. Just stick to the basics, practice as much as you can. And as you start doing more pages, as you design more pages, you will think about different ideas. And that's when you will learn the additional steps to make your website even more interesting. We'll stick to the basics. I'll make sure that your foundation is strong. Once that is in place, you know what? You can then build on it. All right, so let's get into that. Okay, now that you understand the 3 building blocks of Elementor, we'll look at the properties section. What do I mean by properties? If you clicked on a section or a column or the widgets, I told you on the left side, this right here is your properties section. There are 3 tabs up top. Okay, the 3 tabs again, number 1 can be a layout or content. What do I mean by that? Well, if I selected a section, you see right here, it says layout. If I go into a column, I click the column, you see, this is edit column, and here we are in the layout. But when it comes to the widgets, as you click on a widget, for example, now it says edit the heading widget. On the left side now, it's not layout, it's content. Remember that. So that's layout or content. The second tab and the third tabs are common to all 3, the section, columns, as well as the elements. So the second one is called style. So this is where you're going to design stuff. For example, right here, when I click on this, I'm on edit heading. Right next to content, we have style. Now this is where I can change the color of the text, the family, the font type, which is called font family. You could click on the edit pencil icon right here. Family, you can increase or decrease the size of the font. You can add thickness to the font, which is weight. You can do some formatting and a lot more. So that's basically what styling is. So that's style right there. Number 3 is advanced. In advanced, there are things like adding space. So if you want to add a little bit of space all around your text. If you want to add some animations, that's called motion effects. So with that basics out of the way, let's get into actual designing of the web page. What we're trying to do is designing a website for a gym. So obviously we are going to change the visuals a little bit. How do you do that? Click on the sections right here, the 6 dots. The moment you do that, you'll notice on the left side, we are into the edit section. Here, you'd want to get into the style part. And the moment you click on that, you'll notice that there is a background image. So this is taking the entire background of that section and it's placing an image right there. What you'd want to do obviously is to replace this image with something that's relevant to your business. In my case, since it's a gym, I'm going to do something like people working out. Here we go. I'm going to click on this and I've already uploaded a bunch of pictures, by the way. So I'm going to use this one right here. All right. Insert media. As simple as that. Boom. You see how quick that is. And now because this is a dark background, it has that nice pop effect. Now I can see the text and the button really stand out from the dark background. So remember that. On your sections, when you add background images, to make sure that your text and calls to action such as the button really stand out, you got to have a dark background. Or if you're using dark text, make sure the background is lights. It should be contrasting. I'm sure you understand what I mean. Once it's done, just click update. And when you do that, you'll notice that the background has taken effect. If you want to preview the website, you want to know how the web page looks like right now, you could hover over this little arrow pointing left, click that, and boom. You see how cool that is? This header section. We have the navigation menu, and I've also added the phone number. All right, so now you see this is the first section. We've changed the image, but we want to change the text as well. How do you do that? Just hover over. When you hover over, let's say we want to change this heading right here, we all love, and I'm going to move my mouse to the right, click on that little pencil icon, the edit icon, and when I do so, I get into the heading, editing of heading part. Underneath here, if you notice, there's a title. It says, we all love, that text is there. So in order to change it, I'm going to change this right here. So here are a couple of things. Once you put the content in, you'd want to style it. So next I'm going to move to this next tab. Remember I told you that there are 3 sections to the properties box. The first one is the content and then there's the styling. So I'm going to style this a little bit. I click on style and here we have different stuff. Text color. I like the white text on the dark background, so I'm not going to change that. But if you do want to change it, you'd want to click on this little thingy and choose whatever color you like, right, like so. Okay, you can also slide this and change the color to whatever you want to. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it at white, and for that, if you hover over here, it says clear, or you could just move it all the way to the top. That's fine. There we go. It's back to white. Okay, so that's where you'll change the color, like so. And then under typography, if you notice, this is where you again have the pencil icon or the edit icon, and you can do a bunch of changes. The first one is the font family. By default, this is the font. If I did not want that, I could change it to something else. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see. One of my favorites is Montserrat. Let me check how that looks like. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. And the font size is 50, and this is for the desktop. You see right there, when I hover over on the size, it says desktop. Later, I'm going to show you how to make your web page mobile responsive. So when you switch to a tablet view or a mobile view, you know what? You could just change the size of the text specifically for mobile users, specifically for tablet users. So right now it's only for desktop. It's very interesting. So keep an eye out. We're going to get back to this later. All right, there we go. Weight, well, I'm going to add a little bit of weight here. Let's do 700. Looks nice. I like that. Okay. Transform, what I want to do is I want to make the first letters B, G, I, and B capital. And for that, you just need to click on capitalize in the drop down menu. Now it kind of pops. I like that. I like that already. Styling, if you want to add a little bit of italics or oblique, you might want to do that. I'm not going to do that. I like the way it looks right now. Decoration, if you wanted to add some underline, overline, and line through, like a strike through, you could do all of that too. Line height, well, that's fine. I don't have a problem. What I do want to do is add a little bit of letter spacing. So I want a little space between the letters. This looks like it's all squished together, and I don't want that. So if you notice, there is one called letter spacing. I'm going to slide this slightly like so. And now it's legible. I like it. I like this already. Excellent. Okay. So there we go. I think we have a very cool heading already. Best gym in Bangalore. Now I can click on update. And to preview, you know what to do. Just click on that little arrow on the left. Yeah, we have the logo header. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? I love this font already. Okay, now we'll go ahead and edit the next one. In this case, nature. Now you also have the option to change it right here, but I don't prefer that. It's completely up to you. I'd rather click on the edit button on the left side, get into the heading or the edit heading section. That's where I'm going to do it. Woohoo! I like that. Okie dokie. Okay, so obviously I could do a little bit of styling for this one as well. That's good. I like it overall. Now there is one problem though. If you notice, the space between the first line and the second line, or the first heading and the second heading, seems to be a little less. It's just squished together again. We wouldn't want that. Now, when they designed this page, what they've done is for this heading, they've given something called negative margin space. Negative margin space. So that brings me to the third part, or the third tab within the property section. Under advanced, you'll notice there is this margin. They've given a negative margin of 50. Okay, I do not want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce that spacing between the headings. All right, this seems to be okay. So instead of minus 50 or negative 50, I've just reduced that to negative 35, and there is a little bit of breathing space, if you may. Okay, I like that. And then of course, we can go ahead and edit the rest of the stuff. We have this little text right here, the subheading. And for that, I put together some text. I'm going to just copy all of those like so, and then come in here. As you can again see, if there is some text above this outline, it means that there is negative margin spacing. So don't you worry about that. All you need to do is head into advanced and remove that negative margin or negative padding, and that'll be fixed. All right, so let's get into the content bit. I'm going to just select all of these, right click and paste my own content right there. While this is good, it's too tiny for me. I want to make it a little more legible. So what do? You guessed it, you get into the style part. On style, get into the typography. Click that edit icon, and then you might want to increase the space as per your requirement. So I leave it at about 27. Yeah, that's fine. It looks good to me. Update it. That brings me to the last part of this section. We call this a hero section, by the way. Hero section is the most important part on your web page. The first section is called the hero section. So in the hero section, the last element that's left is the button. Click on the pencil icon, the edit, and instead of get started, I'm going to say something like claim your free workout. A cool call to action right there, like so. Again, if you want to style this, you'd head into the style, and then you will notice there is typography for the button, and you can increase the font a little bit. Not so much, just enough, I guess. So this is good for me. I like that. And then just click update. Yay! We're done with the first part. Okay, let's go ahead and preview this. There we have logo, navigation, beautiful background image. Now let's look at the other section, shall we? If you scroll down this part, again, as you hover over and click, you'll notice that this is another section. So this is section number 2. Scroll down, we have section number 3, section number 4, about us, section number 5, questions, and that's basically it. Okay, these are the various sections that are there within this page. I'm also going to show you how to start a section or create a section from scratch. Don't you worry about that. All right, so let's quickly move on to this section number 2. Our services. I love this heading, the font and the text, all that is good, so I'm not going to touch that. All right, here we go. These are our services. As you can see, this right here is a section, and within the section we have the column, and within the column there is one widget or element called the heading. You can hover over and you will notice right there it's going to say what that widget is. In this case it says edit heading. And if you hover over this part right here, again, if you click on or just hover over that little pencil icon, you'll notice it says edit divider. So is it this one, right? As I hover over it says edit the image, and this one is called an image box. Okay, so you could do editing on all of these. In our case, what I'm going to do is not just restrict my gym to only 3 services. We've got like a half a dozen different services, and I want to highlight all of them. So what are they? Well, under services, I'm going to put weight loss, weight gain, strength training, cardio workouts, personal training, and nutrition counseling. How do we do that? Very simple. I'm just going to show you how to do that. Let's first click on this little thingy, image, edit. On the left side, we have the edit, and right here within the content, we have the image. Click. Now I'm going to replace the images. The first one is weight loss. So I'm going to choose this image right here. Very simple, like so. The image. And then instead of web design, we are going to replace it with weight loss. Let's quickly do that. So I'm going to click edit, and there we go. We have the image box. I'm not adding any image because it's already added. We have the title and description. These are the two I'm going to replace with my own. All right, so I'm going to quickly select all of these. Boom, boom, boom. Copy it. Come back in here. Pop that in. Paste. Boom. Next is the description. Like so. Copy it. Come back in here. Select the whole thing. Right click. Paste. Boom. You see how cool that is? Very simple indeed. Weight loss, and then there is description. As simple as that. All right. So now let's say I added all those images and text. But this is only 3. What do I do? Well, I have 3 more to go. You know what? You don't have to do anything from scratch. That's the beauty of using WordPress. That's the beauty of using Astra theme, and the beauty of using the starter template. It's going to reduce the amount of work that you do, the time you spend drastically. Very simply, hover over to this inner section, right click in here and click duplicate. Boom, boom. How cool is that? You see? All that is done for you. within a second, you were able to create that entire inner section. And now it just comes down to replacing the images and text. So I'm going to quickly fast forward this. Okay, so we're done with our services section. I've added these images, a little bit of text, so weight loss, weight gain, strength training. Then there is cardio workouts, personal training, and nutrition counseling. I think the images are cool. I love them. Let's quickly move on to the next section. Now this section, as you can see right here, has 3 columns on it, 1, 2, and 3. So you can have multiple columns within one section too. But what I'm going to do with this one is I'm not going to use this section at all. In fact, I'm going to move this slightly below this. I'm going to use that for later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new section from scratch. Again, when you do this, there are 2 options. You may choose to do it from scratch, or you may also get these built-in starter templates for blocks as well. So let me quickly show you what I mean. Let's say I want to add a whole new section. Click on the plus button. You will be provided with 3 options right here. Actually, just stick to 2. The plus, and then of course the directory. If you clicked on the the folder button, you'll notice that there are some pre-designed templates available for you. Now these could be entire pages. As you can see, these are entire pages from Elementor, and the most important one is the blocks. So if you want a specific section, which is what we are thinking about doing, adding a section, you know what? You could pick any of these right here. So for example, I like this one. I would want to click on that and click insert. When I do that, it's going to ask me to enter my username and password. So you can do that. You can just sign up for free, a free account, and you can start using it. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I just want to show you that that is indeed possible. You might try adding a template like blocks template. But we're going to do it from scratch, aren't we? So I'm going to click on that plus button, and this time, instead of the folder button, I'm going to click on that plus icon. Click that, and now you'll notice that these are the different sections that are available. Remember, this is a section, this is a section. So you can pick any section that makes sense to you. Right here, if you notice, this one has no vertical lines, which means there is no column. It's just one column, okay, not multiple columns, just one column, and it takes the entire width of that screen, right? That's what this means, this section. The second section, of course, is broken into 2 right in the middle, which means there are 2 columns to this, 3 columns, 4 columns, and you get the idea. So for our purposes, what I'm going to do is 1 column section. I'm going to click that, and there we have it. I'm going to add a heading firstly. So I'm going to drag this. You see what I'm doing here? You have to click on these 9 dots to get to all the different widgets, the home base, if you may. And there we have the heading. I'm going to click, drag it, and drop it like so. I want to generate leads here, so I'm going to understand the goals. I'll get the phone number, talk to them, determine that, and then suggest a program that might best suit them. Now, what I do like is, if you remember, I told you that I like this heading and this divider. So what I'm going to do is, instead of have this let us know goals with this font and all of that, I'm going to just use the format of this right here, this heading right here of our services. How do you do that? Hover over, you should see the pencil icon for the edit. Right click on there, copy it. We are going to copy this and then come down wherever you want to change the style, right? Just right click on that like so. Again, I'm on the edit icon, right clicked on it, and in here, instead of pasting, paste the style. We only want that style. Click, and boom, you see how quickly it changed the style in terms of the font. It also center aligned just like to our liking, which is wonderful. Okay, I also like this divider. So you know what? This time I'm going to just duplicate it. Like we duplicated the section, you could duplicate individual widgets. You could duplicate an entire column as you may please. All right. So let's click and just drag it all the way. Ploop. There we go. It's very simple, isn't it? So that's how it is done. So now we have let us know the goals, and then there's this beautiful divider. All right. And just like in this case, I'm going to also add an inner section, and in this one, what I'm going to do is on the one part, I'm going to have a lead form where I'm going to get the name, phone number, and their goals. On the right side, I'll have a beautiful image, or the other way around. Let's put the image on the left and the lead form on the right, whatever works for you. In my case, I'm going to do that. So we are in the big section. You see the big container, the outer layer. Within that, I have a heading and then the divider. Now within this, I'm going to go into, again, the 9 dots, the main menu. I'm going to drag the inner section and drop it right below the divider, like so. Like that. Beautiful. Okay, and in here, I'm going to add an image. How do you do that? The moment, just keep an eye on this one. We are in the inner section right now, as you can see. The moment I click on this plus button, it's going to take me to the menu, and I can drag and drop anything, any widget that I desire. So click on the plus button right here. You see now we have the Elementor widgets menu. I'm going to drag and drop, guess what? An image, like so. Whoa, very cool. I like that. Okay, now I'm going to add an image. Love it. Yeah. So that's where it is going to be. On the right side, I'm going to add a lead form. Now this is going to be an interesting one. Before we proceed to do that, let me update it. You can head into your dashboard. You can go to the plugin section, add a new plugin. There are a couple of really good plugins for contact form, for the lead form. The ones I highly recommend are, number one is called Contact Form 7. The second one is WP Forms. Both are good. For our purposes, I've already installed WordPress. Actually, I didn't. When we got the starter templates along with Astra, that came with it. So it's there by default. So I didn't want to do that extra work. So we have the WP Forms. I'm going to click on WP Forms, and you'll notice by default, they've given a sample contact form. Now, I don't want to use that. Let that be. I'm going to create a brand new one. Remember, I wanted to show you from scratch. So how do you do that? Just click on this Add New button, and we are creating a really cool lead form where I can capture the name, the phone number, the email address, whatever you choose. You may gather that, and then you can build a relationship by reaching out to those people, your prospective customers. All right, so there are templates you can pick from, but I'm going to go with blank form, like so. Create a blank form. There we go. We have the canvas right here, and there are tons of elements. Just like our Elementor, this is also very simple. Just drag and drop, and you can get going. So the first one I want to add is a name. So I'm going to drag and drop it like so. Now, instead of having a first and last name, I chose to have like a simple first and last name together, whatever that is. So in order to do that, instead of having 2 fields, I'm going to restrict it to 1. Click the field. On the left side, you're going to see these stuff. Label is name. Format says first name. I'm going to click on that drop down, and I'll choose simple. You see, now we just have 1 field, and that's all I want. And do you want the name? If you turn this on, required toggle button, it means that it's going to have an asterisk symbol. Now, without the person entering the name, they will not be able to submit the form. And that's important for us. We want the person's name. We want the person's phone number. So we're going to choose that. All right. Now, go back to add fields. You see there are 2 tabs. Click on add fields. The second one I'm going to add is the phone number. Unfortunately, phone is a premium field. I couldn't do that, so I'm going to go with a number like so. Drag and drop it underneath. Okay, and again, to format this, I'm going to call this phone, and I'm going to turn this toggle on, representing without entering the phone number, the user may not be able to submit. That form wouldn't go through, right? So third one, I want to add a text field. Single line text, I'm going to add that. And for this one, click the field, give this a label like what is your goal. Also make this what is your goal a required field. Next, I want to format the button. Submit as a word. It's not very exciting, is it? It's not really a call to action. So when I click on the button, you see now it says the form name and all of that. I'm first going to give a name to this form. We'll call this goals lead form. So instead of submit, I'm going to say something like get started now. So I'm going to go with that. Let's click on save. All right, let's click save. Okay, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and see how to add that form right here. And for that, first you have to reload. In here, we have the WP forms. Just like we dragged and dropped the image element, you're going to drag and drop. You see that? It's going to have that blue horizontal line, meaning you could place it there. Boom. And now in this drop down, it's going to ask you to select a form. I'm going to select what? Goals lead form. Yay! That's so cool, isn't it? So we have this beautiful form right here. I love it already. It looks wonderful. There's one drawback though. Because of the white background, all these fields don't really pop. So I'd want to change the background color to something else. What I could do is, so to change the background color of this one, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. I like this section's background color, the subtle green, the light green. I like that. So I'm going to click on the section in here and go to the colors part right here. And you can right click, copy this hex code. This is called the hex code of that color. You're going to pick that, scroll up this part, click the entire section, and then in the style, go to background type, the classic. And in here, the color, click there, and you're going to replace that color code, the hex code, like so. And now update it, and you'll notice that it's got that subtle green color, and the fields pop a little bit. And I want it to be subtle, and that's why I did that. So there's another thing that I'm not happy about. If you notice this section right here, there's a good amount of space up as well as at the bottom. On the other hand, when you look at the section that we created, there's not a lot of space up here or at the bottom. So we'd want to do that. And when you want to do the spacing, remember, you can click on the section, go to advanced, and you will see what is the amount of spacing that's given. So they've given 70 padding, top and the bottom. Guess what? That's exactly what I'm going to do here as well. So click on the section, go to the advanced tab, and in the padding, unlink this, and we are going to just add 70 at the top and 70 at the bottom as well. There we go. Okay. Now I like that there's some breathing space, and I love that. I could also add a little bit of spacing in between these two columns if need be. So for that, you can click on the column right here, go to advanced, and this time instead of top and bottom, I'm going to do the left and right. Let's say we do 30 on the right and 30 on the left, like so. I hope you notice that. It's a subtle one, but it makes sense to add some space. Good. So click on update. Now we have a section that we created from scratch, which now has the heading, has a cool divider that we got from the existing ones. And then of course, we also added an image and a lead form. Now you know a lot. Let's move on. I like the about section, and I'm going to play around with this. So the about section has some heading. As you hover over, you see that's a heading, and this is a little bit of text, and then there is an image. Those are the three we are going to quickly change. So I'll head into my Word document. This is the text I have. All right, so there we go. I've added some text like so, and I'm going to click update. Health made affordable, very nice, and I have a little bit of text. That's fine. Here is the image, and I want to replace this image. Not just the image, I want to replace the entire widget. I'm going to add a lot more images. We're going to add like sliders, carousel images. How do you do that? First of all, let's go ahead, right click and delete that little element or the widget. And now I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and you'll find one called the slider. We're looking for one called, okay, there we go, image carousel. That's good. I'm going to drag and drop like so. Very simple, okay? And now, you know what? You can add a bunch of different images. The moment you click on that, here in the content section, we have the option to add a bunch of images. I'm going to click on that and choose a couple of images. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are images of the gym, which is exactly what I want people to see when I talk about us. What I'm going to do is under image size, first I'm going to make this large. Number 2, in the slides to show, I'm going to choose only one slide to show. Now that way I have slightly bigger image. Make sense? So first change it to large and then the slides to show to one slide per instance. That's awesome. Now if you want to stretch it and all that, you could do it too. I like it the way it is. Again, if I wanted to add a little bit of spacing, I might do that. Click update. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? All right, so we've quickly done the hero section, services, 3 generating our own leads through our contact form, the lead form, and the about section. Now the exciting part, what I'm going to do next is actually add an image. Okay, we are going to add a testimonial video, actually, not an image. I want to add a video to show you how it is done. All right, so you know what, I'm going to scrap this whole thing. So let's go ahead and delete all of these. Within this one section, there is one column. I'm going to show you how to add columns now. So I'm going to break this down into 2 columns. On the one column, we'll have a video testimonial. In the second column, you know what, we're going to have some text testimonials. I'm going to right click on here on this column and I'll click add new column like so. So now as you can see, there are 2 columns. That's exactly what we wanted. In the first one, I'm going to click on the plus button and right now I'm going to add a video element. You see right there, just drag it and drop like so. Very simple. The moment you do that, it says, where's the source? Where are you getting this video from? You have the option to get it from YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, or you could even upload the video on your WordPress in the media library, and that's called self-hosted. So we're going to go with the YouTube thingy because I've uploaded the video already of the testimonial. I'm going to copy the URL like so, select it, paste it, and we're good to go. Yay, there we go. That is Anushk, who actually gave the testimonial for the gym. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? I'm going to leave the background image for now. I like it. I like it. Why not? Okay, so the next thing I want to do is probably add this testimonial in here. I just need to click on this little thingy, edit icon. I can just drag it, and as I hover over, it says drop it there. Boom! Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. But the problem is now the text doesn't pop because the background has a bright mountain. So in order to fix that, what I will do is go to the section in the styling. With this image being bright, I want to make it slightly darker. So what I'm going to do is there's something called background overlay. You can click that and you'll see right there, we have the background type. You can click on the classic and then color. You're going to add a greenish tinge to this. I'm going to do that now. Like so. Slightly that thingy. And now to make this text pop, maybe I can even turn it into white. Click style and let's see a white color. All right, not bad. Okay, so there we go. That's our testimonial. We could do it that way too. If you wanted to add this little quote, you could do that. Drag and drop it up top. Boom, boom. That's nice. And if you want the image, why not? Like so, underneath. Yay! And if you want to add the text, the name of the person giving that feedback, all right, that's good too. Which means we can remove this entire section. This is gone now, you see? Just X out and that is deleted. That's how it is done. So we have a cool video and the testimonial, text testimonial as well. Not bad. We are doing good. Okay. I'm going to add a new section now. Let's click on the new section. And again, I'm going to go with full width. Or should I? Yeah, we'll go with full width for now. And as always, I'm going to add a little bit of padding. So now I'm going to add a Google map below this. Okay, so for that, just click on Google Maps, drag it and drop it like so. So once we've added the Google Maps, just click on this little edit icon. On the left side, you're going to get the location and the content. I'm going to remove all of that and type MI CrossFit like so. And there we go. You see, this element, this widget within Elementor is so powerful that just by typing the name of the business, you'd be able to get that automatically in there. That's the location we are at. Okay. So if you want to zoom in a little bit, you could do so. There we go. I like that. And if I want to increase the size, like the height of the Google map, I could do that too, like that. And I'm going to add one other thing, which would be the timings. So I'll head back to the menus. Let's go to text editor, drag it and drop it right underneath. Okay, I like that. Now what I want to do, of course, is style it a little bit. Go into the styling section, make it center aligned. The typography, I'm going to increase the font size so that it pops. There we go, like so. I like that. And if I want, I can also add a little bit of weight to that. There we go. I like that. And if I wanted to add a little space, I could click on this, go to advanced, and then add a little bit of padding up top and at the bottom, like 30 and 30. Boom. Beautiful. I love this. So there we go. So if you want to see the preview of the complete page now, I'll click on this little arrow to the left. Beautiful. I love this. Looks beautiful. Scroll down. Services section. We have the goals. Then we have the about section with enough space. I like the testimonials right here. And then of course we have the location and the footer area. Excellent. So that's how it is. I hope this video was useful. Now you know how to build a full web page, the home page of your website using Elementor Page Builder. It was fun doing this. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to do the rest of the pages on your website. Okay, that'll be useful as well. So stay tuned for that one. Please subscribe to the channel so that when I do publish that video, it'll be available for you. You'll be notified. My name is Manjunath and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.